Donald Trump has publicly targeted the Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, calling her wacky, calling her Marjorie Taylor Greene. In a Truth Social post as well on the weekend, they used to be buddies, these two, not so much now. Joining us live is political analyst Joe Siracusa. So it really does, as I mentioned last hour, it shows this MAGA split, doesn't it, where you got half of the group who want full exposure, everything to be released, Joe, but you got the other half, and we're talking about Donald Trump here, at the White House, which is reluctant to, because there are victims' names in it, there's problems with identity, et cetera, right? So therein lies the problem.
Yes, Pete, good morning. Look, the MAGA diehards believe that there are things in Epstein's files, his safe, videos, et cetera, that reveal the deep state, the swamp, so to speak. And they don't understand why Donald Trump doesn't want to expose all this. Now, Trump probably has his reasons, both legal, personal, and who knows what. And he fell out with Marjorie Taylor Greene over this issue. Now, she had a brilliant defense of herself this morning. She did, I think, an 18-minute interview on CNN, and it wasn't just the Epstein tapes, Pete. She was complaining that Trump has taken his eye off the ball, off the economy, cost of living, health costs, and things like that. And there was too much. Trump was spending far too much time thinking about foreign aid and foreign assistance and getting into foreign wars. And of course, the number one impulse of MAGA is to concentrate on America first. And she positioned herself very well. She said, he's still a good guy. It's just his, she regretted the whole thing. She regretted adding to the toxicity of American politics. A little late for that. And so Trump's got a couple options here. He can let the Epstein stuff go public, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of people who are embarrassed. I can't imagine why. Keep in mind, Pete, the only person who's gone to jail over the Epstein crimes has been Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah,
we haven't. No Americans have gone anywhere, and I'm sure there's a lot of shenanigans going on over at Epstein's house. But the thing is, I think Marjorie Greene is the first of many Republicans who are going to give Donald Trump a second thought, a second look. They don't like what he's doing. They think he's become something else. And she seemed quite moderate. In fact, I was quite taken aback by her modest language and all the rest of it. And she represents a very poor state and a very poor district. And so, she has to do these kinds of things. But I think the MAGA glory days are over. President Trump probably only has about 1 year to do everything he wants to do to seal his legacy. Because, Pete, in 2026, it's sure as night follows day. The Republicans are going to lose the House and the Senate.
I just I'm of the opinion that if something had have been there that painted Donald Trump in a bad light, it would have been released already by now, particularly while Joe Biden was president. But still, there's been none, and try as the Democrats might to release things, there's still been no smoking gun. So nothing's landed on him yet. So doesn't this just reflect worse on the Democrats?
Oh, it does. I mean, the Democrats have been chasing this, and of course, it's going to reflect very badly on Democrats like Larry Summers, former president at Harvard, and Bill Clinton, Bubba, and all those guys. They probably went over there for their weekly massage or whatever the hell they were doing there. And so, the Democrats haven't looked very good about this. The Democrats have prolonged a 43-day shutdown, causing Americans to suffer a great deal. Particularly the food stamps and the airports and the rest of it. And keep in mind, Pete, that Americans don't know how to save money. 70% of Americans live from paycheck to paycheck. And, they were going hungry. They were being disrupted at airports, et cetera. They're getting very, very angry, which is why people came together at the last minute. But look, I think the Democrats have handled this poorly. The Republicans, they have the numbers. And, if you got the numbers in Australia, or you got the numbers in, you got the numbers in America or Australia or Timbuktu, you can do whatever you want. But when those numbers change next year, when the Democrats get 218 and maybe 51 in the Senate, I think you're going to be hearing a different story.
All right. Good to see you as always, Joe. Joe Siracusa, that's our US political analyst and foreign affairs expert. Good to chat as always, Joe. We'll see you next week.